Okay, today lessons I am going to introduce you to the basic of circles. When you hear the word circles, you automatically think of pi. Okay, you are automatically need to think of pi either as 22 divided by 7. The pi in 22 divided by 7 is both an exact value. Okay, there are some approximation value. Some teachers will tell you to do as 3 or 3.14. Okay, but for me, I rather you use the 22 divided by 7 or pi. That will give you an exact value. Okay, we also need to look at the word central angle. Central angles will be let me backtrack a little bit. Radius. Okay, radius is starting from a center point. Okay, let's say this is angle O. Okay, center points go into one other side. Okay, all radii measurements are the same. Okay, we're looking at diameter. Diameter is twice the radius. Okay, if the diameter is 2, the radius is going to be 1. Okay, so diameters is going to be right here. Okay, you are going to hear the word chord. Chord is the two endpoints that touching a circle. Okay, so there's so many of them that's touching the circle, but the diameter is the longest chord. Okay, it's the longest chord because diameter cut the circles into equal pieces. Okay, the measurements of a circle is 360 degrees. Okay, and sometimes you're gonna hear the 2 pi as well. Okay, that's when we are going to convert into different units. When you hear the word circles, you will think of its circumference. Circumference is similar to the word perimeter in polygons. Okay, but we use the word circumference. We're talking about a circular shape. Okay. Okay, the formula that I need for you to be familiar with is circumference. We're talking about, let's say we're going to deal with radius. You're going to have the 2 times the pi times the r. Okay, if the questions give you diameter, both is exactly the same thing. I want you to be very familiar with it. Okay, earlier I was talking about a central angle. Central angle is when 2 radii, let's say I'm going to have small ones. I'm going to have this. Let's say I'm going to have this radii right here. Oh, that didn't give me anything. Okay, let me change this. Okay, 2 radii. Let's say this is 1 radius, and then that's another radius. The central angle is when the 2 radii intersect at the center. Okay, that's what we call central angle. That unit is going to give you a degree measurement. Okay, let's take these examples. Okay, let's say I'm giving you the measurement of the radius is 30 millimeter. Okay, and I'm asking you to find the circumference of a circle, of this circle. Okay, so what you're gonna have here is bring back the first formula. Since they're talking about radius, I'm going to bring up that formula. It's going to give me 2 times pi times 30. Okay, that should give you 60 pi millimeter. This is what I call leave your answer in terms of pi. Okay, if I were to ask you to round to the nearest tenth, okay, round to the nearest tenth, I always use my pi button on the calculator, so that should give me about 188.5 millimeter. Okay, so this is right here is in terms of pi. This one right here is round to the nearest tenth. Okay, let's say that I want to give you the value of a diameter. Let's say diameter is 200 miles. And then your job is to find the circumference. So circumference I'm going to use here is pi diameter. Diameter in this case is 200. It's the same thing as 200 pi miles. Okay, that's in terms of pi. And if I wanted to calculate in terms of nearest tenth, I'm going to have times pi. That should give me 628.3 miles. Remember, your unit is in mile itself. It's not a mile square because this is a one-dimensional. Okay, let's take this another example. Okay, let's say I have some blood types. Okay, insert population. Okay, let's say type A is 40%. Type B is 12%. Type C is 5%. Type D is 43%. Okay, let's say that I want you to make a circle graph, and I want you to convert that into a degree. Okay, I want you to convert that into the degree. The first thing you need to do is to add this up. This should give me 100%. Okay, I want you to convert all of them to a degree, 2 degree measurement. Remember, we skipped lesson. We will skip. Oh, not this one. We are not using compass at this point due to the fact that you guys don't have it at home. So I'm going to do the approximations. As long as you can label it, I'm fine with it. Okay? So when you do a conversion to a measurement, you are going to use the proportions. So let's say I'm going to have type A. Type A is going to be 40% over 100. Okay, remember the total needs to corresponding. Okay, so here. Okay, here is going to be X. I want 100 to corresponding to the 360 because they are the total. The 40 corresponding to the X. The reason is that is a part of it. Okay, let's do proportion. Let's do the cross product. So if I were to take this and cross it like that and do cross it like that, okay? So I'm going to have 100 x equals to 360 times 40. Then I'm going to divide them by 100. Oh. Okay, let's simplify. Oh, this meant to be 100. That is gone. That is gone. That is gone. So x therefore is 36 degrees for type A. Okay, let me finish up the rest of it. Okay, I was using the blood type, but then I'm using type C and D. So technically, this one right here is type AB, and that should be type O. So this one right here is AB, that is O, okay? When you graph this thing, you are using this information to graph. Okay, hold on. What is this? I want you to use the whole thing. I want to use those values to graph, okay? As long as you can get, okay, let's label it for me. Say type, that's my central angle. Type A is about 36 degree. So A is 36 degree. Type B is 43 degrees, so it's a little bit more. Type B is 43.2 degrees. And type C is, type AB is 18, so just a little bit. Type AB is 18, okay? And then, what? Hold on, I think I did something wrong with the calculations. Okay, there's a calculation mistakes right here. Right here. Let me erase this part. There was meant to be 144 degrees. So that was meant to be 144. So I'm gonna erase this a little bit. Okay, let me shorten this problem up a little bit. Let's say you have a high school students trying to work at a certain place. So what I did was I list all of it, and then I will to find the total of the places they work. Instead of convert everything to nearest degree, I want you to convert this retail stores. I want to do it in percentage, and I want you to convert to the degree of that percent retail store as well. Again, let me do the cross product, and you're gonna have, okay, what I have here is the to convert to percentage is 23, and then the degree is in 84. They're technically the same thing. When you graph on the circle, the 84% is one of the central angle. Make sure when you calculate everything, it adds up to 360. But if you were to calculate it in percentage, make sure it's add up to 100%. Okay, let's try your homework.